Hello RDKB residents, my name is McGregor. I'm Solid Waste Operations Supervisor here at the Grand Forks Landfill and Composting Facility. We get lots of questions by our residents on what happens with their green bin, and since April and we started the composting facility up here at the Grand Forks Landfill, we're just going to run through really quickly on what happens with all that process with your green bin. Behind us here we have a quick little mixture of your green bin products as well as clean wood waste and yard and garden waste that people bring up here to the site. Once we mix it here quickly, we put it in that mixer right there, breaks it all up and makes it a homologous mixture. We add some water to it to get it to the consistency we need for it to start that microbial breakdown and make it into full-on compost. From this, we move over to our bays to our left here, and from there, it goes under that tarp system which maintains the moisture and keeps the temperatures regulated, and we put moisture probes and temperature probes in there so we can monitor that to make sure we get full pathogen kill off and get the temperatures we need to break down into the compost products. Once it's done that for 1 month, we move it to the next one for 2 weeks. That's the secondary process. It finally breaks down the last bits of the organic matter, and then it goes out onto the curing pad for final curing and cooling to finish off the compost. From there, we run it through a screener that's over on the end there, past the pad, and then that's the black product you see at the end there. Once we have all the testing to make sure that we're reaching Class A compost with this product, it will be available to the public, hopefully here in the early spring, but we will let you residents know when that will be available to the public. This is the first part of the process in making compost up here at the Grand Forks Landfill composting facility. We receive the material here, we mix it with wood chips and yard waste to be able to get our mixture of both nitrogen and carbon elements for the composting process. From this, we do a pre-mix right here with the loader to kind of mix the three products together. And from here, it goes into this big mixer here behind me. That breaks down if there's any paper bags and all that kind of stuff, or big chunks like maybe pumpkins, things like that, breaks them all up, and so they're into finer particles for breakdown. And also there's a scale right on there. It tells us how much weight we got in there of each of those products, and we add water to it then to get the moisture content to between 60 and 65% water content to start off the composting facility, first product. Here in the second phase of making the compost up at the Grand Forks Landfill, once it's mixed together, we put those products into these aerated bunkers. So the channels in the bottom, we can pump air through the mixture and keep it oxygenated. That way it won't go anaerobic and kill off all the good bacteria that we need to break down the compost. As you can see, this one is active right now with the big cover over top of it. That's a Gore-Tex cover, so it keeps the moisture into the pile, so we're not losing all that moisture, as well as keeps any kind of smell from exiting that and entering into our neighborhoods with the wind and so forth. So, and those little probes that are top there, one is an oxygen probe to make sure that we're getting oxygen through that pile, and the other one is the temperature probe to make sure we're getting to the temperatures that we need. For producing compost, we have to be above 55 degrees centigrade for a week straight, 5 days straight, to kill off all the pathogens and the bad bugs, so to speak, in that compost, to be able to move it on to the next end and be safe to put in our yards and gardens and so forth. So this is the third phase of making compost up here at the Grand Forks compost facility. Once it's done its thing through the bunkers and done 90% of its breakdown, it comes out here to the curing pad. So here it basically cures and finishes off that last little bit of breakdown and allows the piles to cool back down to a stable temperature, that they're not producing all that heat anymore. Once they're at that stable temperature, we know the process is complete. From here we can move on to our final product to be able to test that, to make sure that we're a Class A product, and screen it and send it out into the public. And this is the final stage of making compost up here at the Grand Forks Landfill compost facility. Once it's finally cured on the pad back there, our operators will scoop it up with the loader and feed it through our screener here, which takes out any of the contaminants and also the large pieces of woody debris that have not fully broken down, that we used for a bulking agent going through the process to be able to get air through those piles and keep it porosity to where we need it. These two piles at the back here, that's what the finished product will look like. Those piles are all ready and ready for testing